Let's see, do we have other trainers anywhere? Blacksmith and repair. Repair. Nope, I think that's everything. Oh, we do actually have training over here in the Star Camp. Let's go. Trainers are...
Need an answer or a rumor? Now come, fellow traveler. Ain't much like a bit of gossip to soothe the tongue, isn't it? Keep to the shadows.
Alright.
Greetings. For your coin, I can help you improve your stealth and hide your presence.
Yeah, why not? Again, as I said, we're not using it for anything else anyways, so...
What do you want?
Now, before we go on adventuring, I'm going to get myself a new drink because it's not even been an hour and my half liter is empty. So I need to get some more. Hang on. And the worst part is, it's supposed to stay this hot for the rest of the week. Oh boy. Okay. I guess we will go find it here, and then we need to go back to Didenhilfo and give them the stuff for making plague potions. All right. There we go. You've got a quest for me.
Nice to see you, my child. I hope all is going well for you this day. I have a request.
Absolutely not.
A selfish one, but if you have any spare time?
What's on your mind, brother?
Well, it's Brother Padrick. He's a friend of mine. He left about a year's time ago in search of adventure. Said the monk's life was too bland for his tastes. He mentioned hearing about a treasure only found through a hidden exit from Split Rock Depths. That he might find it if he camped in Haxie for a bit. But such a long time has passed and no word from him. I'm terribly worried, and I thought you might... Well, you could check up on him for me?
Yeah, sure. That's no problem.
Mitharu's blessings upon you, child. Bless you. Thank you so much. My mind is already at ease knowing you would take on this charge. If it helps, I would begin your search at Split Rock Depths. It is the only place he had mentioned by name. Towards Haxie and into Split Rock Depths. Begin your search for him there. I came to St. Edric's to find peace. Peace and a place to study. It's quite scenic, and nature's beauty has always helped me think better. Puts my mind at ease. He was always looking for more adventure than St. Edric's could offer him. This made him an ambitious man. When he spoke of traveling and seeing more of these lands, there was always a sparkle in his eye. The man was such a dear friend. He even asked me to go with him. I owed no such ambitions for myself. A dense and magical forest, home of the traveler's camp, and a place to find lodging or goods if you have need of it. They are a system of caves running through Haxi, said to have a hidden exit that holds a treasure on its cliff. If it can be found, that is. So much of the world around us is made of things we can look at, but never see. St. Edric's wants to show us a way to see those things, the meanings in them that go far deeper than their facade. From what I hear, it may be home to some of the best thieves around. I am probably not the most worldly man, but I know enough to be on alert when I pass their camp. Go with Matharu.
Alright, goodbye. Also, what are you guys doing here? At least they waited until we were done with our dialogue. There's a hidden well cache. Yeah, let's take that. Stuff hidden in a log. Harvest some flowers and finish praying at the shrines.
Matharu, we at St. Edric's celebrate the authorities' natural gifts.
We can loot St. Edric's tomb. Let's not do that.
No one has seen Brother Wolf for several days. Poor boy. He loved the father dearly.
Wait, what are we supposed to loot there? Yeah, we are not looting anything. Forget about that. Yeah, we're not gonna loot that. I just want to know where this dude is that I need to talk to, please. Oh! Yikes. Damn. He's dead. Well, that's no good.
Welcome to St. Edric's. Welcome to St. Edric's. You're here to meet with Father Eter, yes? The Father's always playing host to interesting individuals such as yourself. His quarters are on the second floor of the Mission Bunkhouse. Most of his days are spent inside working on his research. I don't understand a word of it.
Not anymore, they aren't.
No, I knew that they were arguing, but I never imagined that it would lead to murder. It's enough to make a man question his faith.
Who was arguing?
Father Eter and his apprentice Brother Wolf. They were inseparable, like a true father and son. It was a shared love of alchemy that brought them together. But since their work repairing the village well, they've been acting tense, even hostile. Just this morning I saw Ater fetching water. But now he's gone. Mitharu save us all. You're free to search the bunkhouse. Please, if you can shed any light on this tragedy, we'll do all we can to assist you.
Oh, so we get to play detective.
Father Ater and his apprentices conducted many experiments. He had a strong interest in alchemy and the magic of other races. There's proof of it everywhere. 5 years in the swamps of Cluricon was enough to rid me of my lust for war. I was an impetuous youth, raised by the back of my father's right hand. But I found home here with the others. All we seek is a sliver of peace in this vast world. In another life, Wolf was a butcher in Galafor. He's a naive sort, and his gifts do not lie in prayer. But Father Ater believed that Wolf had been called. I know only what I've seen from this hill. The Fae are a wild race, inspired by the intimacy with the natural world. We at the mission marvel at this relationship. Occasionally Father Ater would play host to a visiting summer court Fae, but I know nothing of the meetings, except that many of the brothers frowned upon them. I'll admit that the Eastern lands are beautiful in their own way. Like Dalentarth, the forests and swamps are ruled by Fae folk, but a far more sinister variety. Cluricon should be seen, but I advise that you wait until after the war passes before you pay your ship's passage. It dried up several months ago, so we sent several brothers down to try and find some deeper reserves. Father Ater had great interest in Mitharu's natural splendors. He volunteered to lead the project, with Wolf by his side, of course. The Authority is the one true father to all humankind. It's by his grace and order that we are able to survive the trials of this world. He tests us in all that we do. Our goal, as set forth by St. Edric, is to find the order in nature, in every blade of grass and curling leaf. For these designs are the Authority's most beguiling. This mission was established 20 years ago. The gardens and fauna pens were Father Ater's idea. He marveled at Mitharu's gifts, the magic in the world around us. Bless you, child.
Alright. Oh, whoops. Hey, I got a achievement for picking 50 locks. Nice. Alright, he said we have permission to search the place now, so I'm guessing we can now... We can now rummage through some of the things here. You find a mysterious empty case that holds traces of red crystal dust from whatever was once housed inside. On the front is a label that reads "Crystals from the well excavation." Pretty sure we also got a book or something. Yeah. In the margins of this Swift or journal are the daily devotionals and musings of Father Ater, spiritual leader of St. Edric's perpetual mission in Haxi. Journal of Father Ater. Saturday. A strange maiden arrived today from beyond the sheath. She had come about the crystal. I knew at once who she was, despite who she claimed to be. Harlem has filled my head with enough fate tales for me to recognize the weight of Windermere. If only I could have frozen the faces of my young charges as they watched this enchanted creature walk among them. Poor fools, they did not comprehend the danger they face. The maid is no mere woman, but a powerful magician who could kill any of us with the flick of a smallest finger. I lied to her about the crystal. I had no choice. She must believe that I'm either too smart to surrender the crystal or too stupid to have discovered it in the first place. But make no mistake. She will return, and when she does, there must be no trace of what has transpired here. I must dispose of the cursed thing as soon as possible. But where shall I do it? I beg you, Mitharo, gift me with the guidance to protect my sons and to do the right thing. Hello, my guardian. How's it going?
We need to wait for Mitharu's sign before we choose a new father. I don't know who would want to replace him after what happened, but the authority will provide. Farewell.
Good, good. Had to do some tech support for my parents. Oh. Yeah, that's always fun. Oh, Tuesday. Oh, we actually get multiple journals. Okay, we're going to search this entire place. Before we do anything else. Also, I don't know what that strange chime is that I'm hearing all the time. But it's starting to get really annoying. It's not hard or anything, but waiting on aged hardware to do stuff like file copying, yeah. Okay. Items. This religious text advises against the evils of drinking to excess and its repercussions. On drink and excessive carousing, Part 6. The righteous St. Hadwin spoke of wine as his little friend in the faith, for it can serve to muster the courage and settle the stomach. It balances the humors in the same fashion as Mepharo's order equilibrates the disarray of this mortal life, strengthening the sick of body and calming the wounded of spirit. Yet many tragedies await the miserable wretches who expel temperance from conviviality, think excess in drinking to be the happiest life, for their life is nothing but disorientation, debauchery, nakedness, spewing, idleness, hexes, and more drink. You may see such sluggards half-naked, staggering, wearing horse bridles about their necks like the fineries of kings, vomiting on one another in the name of fellowship and others, flush with the rose of their drunkenness, filthy, faces like the pale, bulbous countenance of fish, livid, and still seeking another flagon of ale to last them until sunrise. It is well, dear brothers, to make our acquaintance with this portrait of man at his most disabled, as to place ourselves at the greatest possible distance from it and to frame ourselves as the beacon towards which these louts must stagger. In other words, everybody's good for something, even if it's just being a deterring example. Mephiro has blessed us with one word to counter all such disability: water. Water. It is the natural, necessary beverage and the gift of the authority. Therefore, water is the proper drink of society and of sobriety. As with all blessings in keeping with the authority's order, drink should be partaken of with the utmost temperance and moderation to maintain one's health, one's good standing, and most importantly, one's faith. I therefore advise those who have undertaken an ascetic life and who are fond of water, the sweet juice of temperance, to turn their back on consumption for the sake of intoxication, shunning the allure of the bottle, and instead quenching their thirst with the divine drink of wisdom. Yeah. Sweet juice of temperance and divine drink of wisdom. Let's go. Seems like a great idea at the moment because, again, 27 Celsius in my room. I'm dying. It is proper, therefore, that young men avoid the flickering tongue of the chaos drink, for it is not right to pour into the flaming cauldron of humanity the fieriest, what is this word, of all liquids, wine, adding, as it were, fire to the fire. The crackling blaze will ignite the youthful impulses of man's worst desires. Beware the lusts of the flesh and the hot touch of fornication. Beware lusts for vicious violence and animalistic predation. Beware the roll of the dice and the forked tongue of the hex-stealer. For it is from the goblet that fiery habits are kindled, and young men inflamed from within become prone to the indulgence of vicious propensities. Yeah, we're going to stick to the divine drink of wisdom. This slim volume includes devotionals for the devout, including the famous prayer of Saint Eitrick. Saint Eitrick's prayer. Mitharu, your grace has made me your vessel. I was wrathful, but now I know forgiveness. I was weak, but now I know strength. I was afraid, but now I know courage. I was sorrowful, but now I know joy. I was lonely, but now I know comfort. I was lost in chaos, now I know order. O great authority, empower me to sow your peace through patience, to be shown mercy and to show mercy, to be loved and to give love, to be healed and to healed. For it is only in your understanding that we shall find purpose, and in surrendering that we shall find the final victory. Amen. I will refer to water as such from now on. Yeah, me too. Hang on, I need to get another bottle of my divine drink of wisdom. Okay, let's actually start with Tuesday. Journal of Father Tuesday. We broke through this morning. It was a grand adventure. I led the way, dangling from a series of cords and timbers, a puppet on a string. Exciting! I must confess that such breathtaking risks are not the usual labors of a mission father. Of course, what is but prayer? I would do it again in an instant. Exciting! The old well was in better condition than we had anticipated. Brother Wolf and I were able to penetrate the collapsed stone within several hours of digging and soon reached the lake beneath. Water levels were low, likely because of the endless heat we've been experiencing in Hakshi this spring. Tell me about it. Not a day passes that I don't pray for the health of my sky bloom and my cohosh. May the authority protect them from this oppressive place. As we prepared the pulley lines and removed debris, the oddest thing happened. Beneath the earth, far in the depths of the well, Wolf made an interesting discovery. There's a typo there, definitely. It was a crystal. I've seen a great many gems and stones, but I've never seen anything like this in all my days. It is quite obvious to me that the crystal possesses magical properties, for its surface moves with a rippling aura, like light wavering over the water, but that is all I can gather without performing more experiments. My next few days will be spent in close observation. Thursday. The strange crystal sits atop my desk. I cannot take my eyes from it. It is not out of adoration or even fascination, but out of a tense, foreboding dread that never escapes me, not even as I lay in my bunk at night, hoping that I have not doomed my young charges by bringing this cursed thing up from the underground. Perhaps the most troubling development is how the crystal affects young Brother Wolf. This person sitting across the chamber from me is no longer my bright, friendly apprentice, but a heavy-eyed fanatic. The strange allure of the crystal has touched him on some spiritual level. He has not been to the chapel in days. He has not bathed or eaten. He does not respond to his name, and when he does take notice of others around him, he does so with a gruff sneer. I grieve for him as one mourns the deceased. All day long he stares at the crystal or plays with it with his whistle, making the swirling red surface flash. My prayers do nothing. All of my research, all of my training, none of it has provided the answers I seek. What is this strange substance, and from where does it derive its magic? What created it, and how did it come to be beneath our mission? Better yet, how can I dispose of it without hurting my dear friend? So many questions, but no answers come. Perhaps tomorrow Mefaro will provide. He has yet to disappoint me. Okay, let me reread Saturday again. I'm not gonna read this out aloud because we've already had it. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. This crystal seems to be like something that can influence other people's minds. And that's why the Maid of Windermere wanted it, so she could influence King Wenson and make him fall in love with her. And either the Maid of Windermere or Brother Wolf killed Brother Aether over this crystal. I think we also got a key. Okay, I think we've really picked up everything that we can pick up here. This is just the sage crafting altar that we don't need. Oh, sorry, the alchemy lab, we don't need that. Not right now anyways. Right. Greater healing, minor healing, yeah, we're fine. And we have done everything that we can do here. Alright. Let's go down the well and let's see what we can find.